Hey everyone, I'm Raphael from XX Raphael Productions, and today we are making a program that counts the amount of times a letter will repeat in a string. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make a new variable, and you can call it whatever you want, but for this example, I'll just simply call it string to keep it easy. And then to represent that it's a string data type, we will put in 2 quotation marks. And we can put whatever we want inside this string. In my case, I'll just simply put a sentence. It's a nice summer day where the crawdads sang. So just something like that. You can put whatever you want, obviously, because we'll just simply take in whatever's in the string and count the occurrences of whatever letter we pick that we want to count. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make a new function. I'm going to call this function as count repetitions. And this function is going to take in 2 different parameters. The first one is going to be called string, and the next one is letter. So to put it simply, the first parameter, which we called string, it just represents the overall string, which is this over here, this whole sentence. It'll represent the string itself where we want to count the occurrences of a specified letter. And the second one, which is letter, just simply represents the actual letter we pick where we want to count the occurrences in that given string. And the next thing I'm going to do inside that function is just return the answer of that. So it will return the string itself, so string.count, and then letter. So we're going to be calling the .count method for this. Okay, so now that we're done with this one, the next thing we need to do is make another function. This time, this is the one that will actually print the amount of times that the letter occurs onto the interactive shell over here. So let's make a new function right now. I'm going to call it main. And then here we'll declare a new variable called letter check. And this will take in the user input. So we'll use the built-in function input. And let's make it ask the user, enter a letter. Let's make this a string actually. Enter a letter to see how often it repeats. And since this is getting kind of long, I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Okay, so that's what it will simply do. It will ask the user how often, it'll ask the user to enter in any letter. And then let's do another variable called repeat number. And then we will call the first function that we wrote, which is count underscore repetitions. And then string, comma, and then letter check, which is what we called this variable here. And then the last thing we're going to do is actually print that onto the interactive shell to do print 2 quotation marks for another string, and this time we'll put the letter F before it, and then do the letter, and then 2 curly brackets like this, the letter, which is letter check, whatever the user typed in for this variable. So the letter check repeats, and then another one for repeat number times in the string. Alright, then we are done writing this function. The last thing we need to do is actually call this function, so type in main, and then 2 parentheses just like that. And let's see if our program works. Let's run the program. Enter a letter to see how often it repeats. So let's do maybe the letter A. It will say that the letter A repeats 5 times in the string. Is that true? Well, let's count. That's 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5. So yes, it is indeed repeating 5 times. Let's try it one more time, and let's do another letter, maybe letter E. Oh, it's saying number 5 again. Let's do something else. Maybe M. It says the letter M repeats only 2 times, and you can see that is indeed true for the word summer. Okay, so that's one example of doing it with a simple sentence. Let's do it now with a really long string, a multiline string next, and we're gonna copy this onto our string, which is this over here. And to do a multiline string, we will represent that with 3 quotation marks, and then we will copy and paste that onto the string, and we will end that again with 3 quotation marks. So that's one example of doing it with like a whole paragraph. Now let's run this program again and see now how it works. So let's do A, and it says that the letter A repeats 11 times. So let's see if that's true. And as you can see, yes, it is definitely true. If you count the circles, there are 11 of them. So yes, the program is working even with multi-line strings like this. Okay, so we have finished making the program that will count the amount of times that a letter will repeat in a given string. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you out. Leave a like and subscribe if it did, and stay tuned for future Python lessons, and I'll see you soon.